That's a fact. But let me go one further. What I'm going to do is kind of give you a little insight into what we do. And what do we do? What's a modification?
It is a new payment based on your monthly income after expenses.
Okay. Without, right away? Without what?
Bringing
Yeah, you're in the way, dude. Okay. You get a due payment based on your current monthly income, your current monthly household income, without bringing any past due payments to the table. You get a new payment based on your current household monthly income without bringing any past due payments to the table. Okay? So we're going to spend about 6 or 7 minutes explaining that. Does everyone know anything about mortgages? Anything? Okay. An average cookie cutter loan is a 30-year mortgage. And in the United States of America, the average household purchase is about $100,000, $101,000. 30 years for all my math here. Any nerds in the house besides me? Any nerds? Nerds? Nerd power? Nothing? None?
Nerd power.
Okay, nerd. Okay. The average, well, 30 years is how many months? Anyone? Any math people in the house?
No. I can write it down.
She's all right. Okay. Is that how you hold a pen? That's so.
Everybody says.
Say again? 160, close. 160 in 30 years. That's good. You should separate the seeds. Okay. It's okay. 360 months. 30 years.
He said that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, speak up. Don't be shy. Come on, dude. All right. 360 months. 30-year mortgage. You borrow $101,000 over 360 months. Your average payment with taxes and insurance is about $1,000. Okay? You with me? So, if I'm borrowing $100,000, all right, for the big price, and I'm paying it back over 360 months, and that's my payment, how much am I paying back? Anybody? A lot.
Well, what about the interest rate?
Interest rate. Okay, that's sort of a different question. How much? Here's the question again. Here's my, how much I borrowed. I'm paying it back for this long, and that's my payment. How much am I paying back? $360,000. Not bad work. I made $250,000. Profit. Over 30 years. You with me? That ain't bad work. That's your average cookie cutter loan. That's what banks do. That's what banks do. And what they do then is they take these mortgages and they package them, and you don't have to write this down, I'm just giving you an idea, in something called an MBS, which is a mortgage-backed security, and they package them in portfolios of 50 million, and they sell them on the stock market. Because if I said, here's $100,000, well, I have an 8-year-old son, and I said, son, here's $100,000, and by the time you're 38, you'll have $250,000 for retirement. That's not a bad investment. For $100,000, you're going to pay me back $360,000. I'm going to make $250,000 to lend you $100,000. Would anybody do that?
Yeah.
Anybody?
I would.
All day. Imagine a return on 50 million. Whew. So what they do is they package them and they sell them. And they sell them in what's called MBSs, or mortgage-backed securities. And you can invest in them because it's a good return. And there's a few criteria to making sure that this stays a good investment. The first thing is the default rate, or people behind. You have to have a less than 2% default rate. Meaning, for every 100 people that have a loan, only 2 of them can be behind. That's a good investment. 2%. The problem is, for those of you that have been alive the last 2 years, who's been alive the last 2 years? All right. No?
No.
Okay. Sure? Okay. The reality is we've gone through something called a recession. Okay? Things have been tight. And the one payment that most people don't pay, because it's the biggest payment, is the mortgage payment. It's going to eat up all my money. Especially if I was working and now I'm on unemployment. Right? If I'm only working at Ford and I've been there 10 years and I'm making $60,000 or $5,000 a month and I get laid off and I'm now on unemployment, the most I'm going to get is $1,800. The problem is with $5,000 comes a $5,000 lifestyle, which means I have a $1,500 a month house note. I drive the Ford with all the rims, so I have $500 for the car. I got $300 for the credit cards, so forth and so on. I got to eat, gas, look good, that whole thing. But if I'm only getting $1,800 from unemployment, what bill am I not paying? It's easy. Can't do it. I got 2 kids. I need my car. Gotta go look for work. Gas. Want to look good a little bit, 1 day a week. Right? Shower whether I need it or not. But the reality is, they're not going to pay their mortgage. So they're going to get behind. And getting behind gives you limited options. One option that you have, you like that? See that? You guys tell I'm from the hood. Okay? Ghetto eraser. You get one of those?
No.
You want those?
Okay. You could keep it.
Thank you. That's good. Hey, that's good. Still good. Get the other side. All right. So here's what's most important. If I want to get a lower payment, I used to refinance. That's what I do. I do what's called a refi. And in order to refi, I'm going to have to do a couple of things. The first is I'm going to go in my own pocket, and I'm going to spend between $300 and $500 for an appraisal. That's my money that I spend out of my own pocket. The problem is house values, if you walked up and down your street, are crap right now. Shit. Right? So, I spend $300 and $500. However, we have houses right now in our housing bank, because we sell houses here also, that 3, 4, 5 years ago were $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, and now we sell them for $5,000, $6,000, and $7,000. Wow.
Yeah, that's what.
And I'm not talking about something the roof fell in, you got to knock this wall down and all that stuff. Like, okay, $5,000, here's the key, go live there. We sell them all day. All day. Because the housing market sucks. Anybody live on the street that has houses that have been foreclosed on or boarded up or people left?
Maine's full of them.
Huh?
Maine's full of them.
Full of them.
Everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go. In Ohio, I believe, you're somewhere about 2 out of 10 homeowners are late or in foreclosure. 2 out of 10. It's a lot of people. You're good.